Boker Tov, everyone, and welcome to another episode of DIY Judaism, learning how to do it yourself Jewishly. This is brought to you by my mug from the U.S. Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, Alabama, and they are our sponsors this morning. So what I'm going to teach you is I'm going to teach you how to do an Aliyah, how to say the blessing for the Torah. It's fairly simple, but there are a number of little subtleties that you can include if you want to, and I'm going to show them to you. And we are going to learn how to do this in the context of Congregation Kol Ami, so that if we ever call upon you, you will be able to participate. Now, the first thing for this that you need to know is your Hebrew name. Now, all Hebrew names are patronymic, which means that you have to have not only the name of yourself, your Hebrew name, Shmuel, for example, or Baruch, but then you also have to be able to tell us at least one parent's name. Conventionally, you probably learned your father's name. We like to be inclusive here and include your mother's name if you know what it is. So it's going to be something like Shmuel ben Raphael V'ita, if it's a Yiddish name for her. So this is very important to know this. You should learn these names and dig them out, get them from your relatives. From a folklorist point of view, this is extremely important because when you die, Has v'Halila, maybe many decades from now, and you are being placed in the grave, the angel of the grave will come to you. And if you can say, my name is Yisrael ben Avraham, it's like getting an out of jail free card. You can skip over any punishment and go directly to the Olam Haba. So you got that going for you. All right, so you should all learn your Hebrew name. But we're here to learn about an Aliyah. So the first thing you should know is never take a glass of water or cup or anything up to the bima with you. And then the second thing you should know is that you should approach the bima from the left. So at Congregation Kol Ami, you're going to be using your left, and you're going to go around this way. Are we ready? Okay. So you're called up by your Hebrew name, and we make a point of making sure that you hear your English name also, so that you don't sit there going, is that me? Is that me? Right? We want to make sure you make it up here. So when you come up, usually it'll be me or whoever is the Baal Koreh, whoever is the reader, will invite you to do the bracha. So the Baal Koreh will open up the Torah. They will call attention using this to whatever space is going to be where we're starting. You can do this by touching directly with this, your talit, or you can borrow the talit of the Baal Koreh, just sort of yank him over and touch with that. But many people also, just because they don't want to get close to the text itself, will simply touch the outer side of the Torah. That is perfectly fine. Once you have done that, then you get your text. I have it right here. And you recite. Now, additional things you can do is that you can put your hand on the Eitz Hayim, that is the pole, one of the two poles that's coiled about. There's also an odd custom. I've never really learned the logic to it, but occasionally we'll get someone from outside who will do it, which is as soon as they get to the Torah, they'll grab it in both hands like this and do this. Why some people lift the Torah like that, I do not know. It may be a way of symbolically lifting it, but in any case, you may encounter someone who feels strongly that this is part of the ritual and does it. If you don't, that's fine. We don't require it here at Congregation Kol Ami. Now, what will happen next is then you'll be invited to read the blessing. Now, there will be two ways to do it. Some Baal Koreh will require that this be closed up, since the Torah is not directly in use. Others, like me, prefer to keep it open. So this will be open. You will take your bracha and you will begin. And it is a call and response, an antiphonal blessing. It begins with the person doing the Aliyah offering an imperative declaration, let us bless God who is blessed. Baruch et Adonai hamvorach, and then the congregation is expected to respond with him. Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. And now, again, variations. Sometimes the person reciting the Aliyah will recite that line by themselves. Other times they won't, but I will. Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. And then the reader, the Aliyah continues. Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. And oftentimes the congregation will join in those last two words, Noten HaTorah, and customarily the Baal Koreh, the reader, will then respond, Amen, or Amen, and then they will start their reading. So, at this point, having said the bracha by Jewish tradition, we should not say a blessing in vain, so I'll read just a little bit of Torah for you. V'yavo Moshe v'yidaber el kol divrei hashira hazot le'oznei ha'am hu v'hoshia ben Nun. So we'll stop right there, and then Moses came and said all of the words of this poem or this song poured them into the ears of the people, he and his assistant Joshua, the son of Nun. All right, now, having done that, some people, again, we don't necessarily insist on this in Kol Mi, we'll touch it a second time. That redundancy is not necessary. And then they will go to do the second part of the Torah blessing, the blessing after. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. Again, congregation may join in with the noten haTorah. A brief pause for a theological thought, and that is that here at Congregation Kol Mi, we are highly inclusive. We like to include every member of our congregation from every family, regardless of whether they're Jewish or not. But by custom here, we only have Jews recite this blessing because of the specific language of it, which talks about who has given us the Torah of truth and chosen us from all people. For words to be meaningful, they have to be true, so only a Jew can recite this, and so this is one place where we place a limit on who can recite this blessing. However, the non-Jewish spouse is more than welcome to be up here with us during all of this. Once the bracha is completed and you're ready to move on, then you go to your left again, and customarily, we ask here at Kol Mi that you and whoever is with you, if you've done a group Aliyah or whatever it is you're going to stand with the Gabbai, or the person who is overseeing the correct reading of the Torah, and you're going to wait till the second reading is done, the next reading coming up. So another person will come up just as you did, do exactly what you did, and when they are done with that reading, then you'll get a final chance to shake hands with the Gabbai, probably Helena, maybe Bruce, and then you'll get to go back down, and that is the completion of your Aliyah. So, key things to remember: always go to the left, touch the Torah with the talit, whether it's yours or someone else's, recite the blessing at the beginning, and remember to do the blessing at the end. All those other elements can be included, but they don't have to be. And having done that, you have had the honor of being called up to the Torah. It is a symbolic gesture to indicate that the Torah is the shared heritage of the Jewish people. It belongs to all of us, not to the rabbis, not to the priests, not to the staff. It belongs to you. And doing Aliyah affirms that this is your sacred possession, the inheritance of Jacob. Boker Tov, and thank you for sitting in for another DIY Judaism.